welcome to Pro Home Inc.'s Housing Council's Corner, where each month we produce a short video discussing different topics such as home buying, housing counseling, and financial literacy. I am Paul Chase, the Managing Director for Pro Home, along with Program Manager Terry Arruda and Video Series Executive Producer behind the scenes Leslie Rhoda. And today we also have Vice President of American Credit Counseling Service, Mark Higgins, with us. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for being here. Before we begin, I'd like to remind our viewers that the opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Pro Home Inc. Also, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and you should always consider contacting Pro Home directly at 508-824-2514 when it comes to your specific real estate and counseling needs. So let's get started. Today we are talking credit, and we are talking about the home buying process. And oftentimes, people that are looking to purchase a home, they start thinking about it, what I feel, a little later than what they should, especially first-time home buyers, right? They start looking a little later than what they should because backing up a little bit of time, you want to get your ducks in a row, per se, and have your credit as optimum as you can because it does make a difference. So today we have Mark here, and Mark works very closely with Pro Home and Terry, right?
Yeah.
On a lot of different counseling services, and I believe you also provide us with some educational programs that we do as well. So
Correct.
we
Yes.
thank you for that. You know, it's a good partnership.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit briefly about the home buying process, and before we get to the home buying process, what's needed for credit and credit counseling, and what credit means to not only purchasing a home, how much you can afford, but what that interest rate might be. Typically, when someone comes to you, Mark, what exactly do they need to do, like again, that year before they're going to buy the house? What's important?
Okay, well, the most important thing, of course, is that the couple or individual have a solid budget.
Okay.
Budget, the dreaded B word. So most people that come in, they don't have a workable budget in place.
Okay.
So, and that's important because you need to know exactly what you can afford when you're going to buy a home.
Sure.
Most important thing, of course. Credit is also an important piece, but it's typically secondary because once we get somebody to develop and implement a workable budget, the credit seems to improve along with that.
Okay.
Of course, most credit problems stem from lack of a budget. So,
Sure.
Again, get that budget into place, and then we see the FICO score in particular start to rise over time.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you say, you know, you work with them to put a budget together, we're talking an actual on paper, on a computer spreadsheet, something like that type of budget, not just, well, you know, here's our expenses, and, you know, it's a process.
It is, and it's a long process. Typically, the development of a budget takes a minimum of 2 to 3 months
Okay.
to develop, and then the implementation can take longer.
Sure.
And that's, of course, making sure that the budget is working, the bills are getting paid on time, which, of course, will lift the FICO score over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you see with, you know, calls that we get in or folks that you counsel would sometimes post that the use of a budget could have helped in the beginning?
Oh, yes, yeah. They put the cart before the horse, so to speak.
Right.
So I find that, like Mark said, if they have a solid budget,
Yep.
it'll definitely improve their credit. But I always find that people, when they decide they want to buy a home,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like they put the credit ahead of the budget. And that's the
Right.
thing that they're focused on most, instead of looking back at
The
the budget
credit.
plan.
Right, where you're saying it's completely opposite.
Correct. Yes, and definitely what we see also is that the credit problem, again, stems from lack of a budget. It's that simple. Okay, let's get the budget in place, let's get it working, and then we see the FICO go up slowly, typically, but you know, we'll see it go up over time so that they're prepared, you know, in the future to be able to buy.
Sure.
Yeah.
And now, when you say that they create that budget and then you follow along with the budget to make sure it's effective and obviously make tweaks and changes as you go along, so you're working with them not only to create the budget, but over the next few months to make sure the budget is actually realistic, it's working the way it should.
That's correct, yes. And that's one of our programs. It's a free program. It's a financial coaching program.
Okay.
So coaching is typically working with somebody over a longer period of time.
Okay.
So instead of 1 to 2 appointments, to get a budget developed, it's months. And, that encompasses, again, getting that budget in place, getting their credit squared away so that their FICO score increases. And then there are other things that pop up as well. And we also help with, other types of debt, credit card debt, student loan debt, that sort of thing.
Right. And that student
all
loan debt
important
is
pieces.
It's a big one
It
nowadays.
is. It sure is.
And a lot of
Yes.
people
It's getting
defer
out of
it.
hand. What's that?
And a lot of people had deferred it, and
Sure.
now they're really paying for it.
Right. Well, part of the problem is it's been so long that to try to incorporate it back into your budget again,
Yeah.
Yes.
it makes it very difficult.
Yes, that is what we're seeing and have been seeing for quite some time.
Right.
You're right. Once those student loan payments become due, okay, how do I make it work?
Right. But I guess maybe the first thing I'd say is don't get discouraged. Talk to a professional.
That's correct. Yep. Do not get discouraged. Make the call, too. It's so important that you make the call. Don't procrastinate. And again, we have free counseling available, so there's really no need not to.
Right.
So, yeah.
And like Pro Home, we have pre-purchase counseling, but that's more along the lines of like our first-time home buyer program, more so than it is going that deep and going back that far. So that's something, again, that we work together
with
with
Mark.
closely on. Yeah, great. So if someone wanted to reach out to you, they're looking maybe a year out or maybe even 2 years out, and they want to start this budget program and begin that monitoring piece, how would they reach you?
Okay, so our counselors are available by phone.
Okay.
You can call toll free. The number is 800-729-0551. You can also go to our website.
Yep.
So our website is www.accs.org. So again, counseling available through both means.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, you suggest long before they start looking at a house to start doing this.
Yes, the sooner the better. Yes.
Or in some cases, they don't need to be even planning to purchase a house. It might just be a good idea to start somewhere with a budget.
Correct.
Right? I
Yeah,
mean, you might
absolutely.
need to buy a car. You might have your first, I say real job, but your first large paying job, maybe coming out of college. Even that time is an appropriate time to start setting up your budget for your future.
That's for sure. Yes, it's never too early to start developing good habits.
Excellent.
That's for sure.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to thank you for being here today. We really appreciate your time and, the really understanding what needs to happen to set yourself up for success, I guess, in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, and Terry, thank you, as always, for being here today. That's all the time we have for today's episode, but I'd like to thank Mark Higgins and Terry Arruda for being on the video today. And until next time, our staff at Pro Home Inc. is available to talk with you one-on-one about a variety of housing, counseling, and financial literacy issues, many times at no cost to you. So if you would like more information on our agency, simply log on to www.prohomeinc.org or go to our Facebook page at Pro Home Inc. You can also contact the agency for further information or to make an appointment at 508-824-2514. Again, we serve the greater Taunton and southeastern Massachusetts area. And until next time, we will see you at our next Housing Counselor video.